Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Vaughn Biggs, and let's queer students and youth. From isolation to empowerment, the GSA effect on queer youth. Tonight, we spotlight a powerful lifeline for queer youth, Gender and Sexuality Alliances, or better known as GSAs. In a compelling Psychology Today article, Dr. Elizabeth J. Meyer shares how these student-led clubs are transforming schools into safer, more inclusive places where LGBTQ plus youth don't just survive, but thrive. Dr. Meyer writes, and I quote, "So many of the reasons students and staff enjoy school are due to the relationships and community we find and create there," end quote. That community often begins GSAs, clubs that provide queer students and allies a safe place to connect, learn, and speak up. A national study cited that the article shows the deep impact of GSAs. 90% of the students said they met new people and socialized. 87.6% learned about LGBTQ plus topics. 70% received emotional support, and nearly half discussed harassment and worked with staff to improve safety. But these clubs are more than just support groups. They're leadership labs. Meyer explains how GSA activism helps in better mental health, higher academic engagement, and even a stronger sense of hope. Still, the potential of GSAs remains underused. Only 15% of the clubs are working with district officials to advocate for inclusive policies. Dr. Meyer urges queer youth and their allies need supportive adults to help create such opportunities in their community. In a time when anti-LGBTQ rhetoric and legislation are on the rise, GSAs offer more than belonging. They offer empowerment, and with stronger adult backing, they could help shape the future of education and equality for everyone. You know, I think it's so important. I've gone to a couple of colleges around here in Florida, and some of them have what we would call a GSA, but they don't call it that. They refer to it as the Crayola Club or something like that, where it's just kind of like
sort of
under the radar, so to speak.
Yeah, okay.
Which is great because that's the way they're still finding a way to commute. They can get together with each other and talk about ideas. But like the story says, it's going to take adults and our support people to come out and help them along the way, especially when it comes to advocacy and learning to use their voice.
Absolutely. When I was in school like 10,000 years ago, the theater department was the closest thing we had to a GSA. And while there isn't much I envy about student life in the 21st century, I can't even imagine what that would be like. But I think that having access to GSAs is one thing I wish we were fortunate enough to have. So keep up the good work.
Yes. Well, that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer non-profit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.